Welcome back to the third installment of our series, The Only ICT Concepts You Need to Know. In this video, we will be discussing the ICT concept breaker blocks. I'll be covering how to use the breaker block, how to compare it with a fair value gap in what we call a unicorn setup, and how to use them on the charts. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Nick, and I'm a multi-six-figure prop firm funded trader that uses both SMC and ICT to trade. I do not have a paid course, I do not sell signals, and I have absolutely nothing to sell you. Let's get right into the video. First off, what are breaker blocks? To put it simply, they are your break and retest zones. In the last episode of the only ICT concept that you need to know, we discussed mitigation blocks. The difference between a mitigation block and a breaker block is that a mitigation block is formed during a trending market, whereas the breaker block is formed when it's potentially confirming a potential reversal. So let me show you what a breaker block formation looks like. In a bullish market, you want to see a higher high followed by a higher low, creating another higher high and creating a lower low. Now, the last down candle that created the last higher low, draw a box on it and extend it out. This is where your bearish breaker block is formed. On the other hand, for a bearish market, you want to see a lower low followed by a higher low, which then creates a lower low and then creates a higher high. Now, what the price here is doing is that it is creating a sweep of liquidity to collect enough orders by wiping out the stop losses near these areas before reversing the market. To identify the bearish breaker block, mark out the last candle that formed the last higher low and extend it out. This is where price will come back to retest the breaker block to look for shorts. For a bullish breaker block, mark out the last up candle that created the lower high and extend it outwards. Price will come back to this area to retest before continuing to reverse upwards. Now, why do these breaker blocks work? It's the same idea as mitigation blocks. Traders who bought the leg up want to mitigate their buy orders when price breaks lower because they are in drawdown. And when traders close their buy position, the market places a sell position to close out their trades to result in a net zero position for the trader. This also means that the number of buy orders in the market reduces, but the number of sell orders increases, resulting in a bearish reversal. Similarly, those that sold the leg down want to mitigate their position because they don't want to be in a loss. So, when they close the position at their entry, it results in a buy order being placed in the market. Yet again, this reduces the number of sell orders in the market and increases the number of buy orders, in turn creating a bullish reversal. Now that you know how to identify the breaker blocks, let's take a look at how you can use them together with a fair value gap. And this is what most ICT traders call as the unicorn setup. For this setup to happen, price needs to have a strong impulse move through the breaker block, creating a fair value gap as seen over here. Once the fair value gap has been created, you want to look to enter a position at the fair value gap while targeting previous highs or previous lows, depending if it's bullish or bearish reversal. Stop loss can be placed in the last form high or the last form low. Now, let's hop onto the charts and look at two examples where you can use this to make money in the markets. Here on the 15-minute chart on the GBP US dollar, we can see that the market has created a higher high, a higher low, followed by another higher high. Once the last higher high has formed, price actually reversed towards the downside with an impulse move, creating a fair value gap. So, we highlight the first down candle that caused this higher low and we drag it out. Next, we look at the impulse move downwards. Over here, we spot a fair value gap that overlaps with the breaker block. Now, we have a complete unicorn setup. So now we can set a sell limit at the fair value gap with stop loss covering the manipulated high and target the newly formed low. Now let's see how this plays out. And after a short while, we smash TP. Next example is a bullish breaker block example. Here on the 15-minute USD JPY chart, we can see that price has manipulated the low before impulsing higher and breaking structure towards the upside. In the process, it has created a fair value gap that has overlapped with the breaker block, presenting us a unicorn setup that we can trade from. So, I set my buy limit at the fair value gap and place my stop loss at the low and target the most recent high. Now, let's see how this trade plays out. And after a few days as well, we managed to smash take profit again. So that concludes the video on how to use the breaker block concept as well as the unicorn setup. I hope you guys took down everything that was said. If you didn't, don't worry. Rewatch it, internalize it, and practice it on the charts. If you have yet to watch the previous videos, I'll put up a card over here for you to click and watch. If you have gained value from this video, go ahead and smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more content that we post on our channel every single week. This is Callisto, and I'll see you in the next one.